Hi guys, and welcome to this week's video. I'm heading down to this gorgeous bay where this afternoon I spent a couple hours wrecking it. So fingers crossed, an hour before sunset I should have a good idea of where I'm going. Look at that cove. So when I came down this afternoon, this was my first sighting of it. Never seen anything like it. That's really impressive, isn't it? It's really nice. Now, you won't be able to see it, but the main attraction for me is a rock here that sticks out at an angle like that. That's what I was looking at this afternoon. It's just really unfortunate that the sunset tonight coincides with low tide, when I clearly need the tide to be in. So the only way I can grab this shot is to come back again tomorrow at midday during high tide and battle against the midday light. But I've got to move on tomorrow, so I've literally got to grab what I can grab tonight, and then it's just do or bust tomorrow. So, man, how a place changes. How a place changes with the height of the water. So clearly my A1 perspective isn't going to work. So as an alternative, and this is me thinking on the fly right now, I'm going to walk all the way up there. Can you see that up there? Ooh. And then walk out as far as I possibly can and go for a perspective up looking down. Okay, so from a raised perspective looking down, because I think from here, I have no idea what the rocks are like on the other side, by the way, but I guess I won't know that until I get up there. Time at the moment is 8:30. Sunset is 9:30. So I haven't got time to dither. According to me, west is out there, west is out there, and so that in theory is where the sun should be setting, but realistically the sun is setting way over there. Now unless the sun starts to drop down there, all of this is in shadow. Plus that looks really pants from up here. What a terrible perspective from up here. That's nice. I quite like that, but not in that light. How bizarre. I'll tell you what though, I've not seen them before and they look really nice. Look at that. That's really nice. So I might venture down there as far as I can, or as close to those bad boys as I can, and see if I can do anything with them. It's a bit of a hike across here. Now, rather than go down or carry on going down, I quite like this here. Never seen it before, but I do quite like it. God, it's so close tonight. T-shirt, shorts, yeah I know, apologise. Looking at the rock formation that's sticking up like this, like this and like this and like, is a natural tall to small order as it goes out to sea. And I think it looks nice. Well, I think it does look nice. The only way this will work with this lens is if I do a panoramic sweep, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, because that is really nice actually. That will make for a very nice picture. Right, I'm going to throw my 6-stop filter on because I want a 30-second exposure. Well, I understand how I rushed that, because I wanted to get this pano started. But I've set my camera up so that I can take a landscape pano all the way across, zooming in quite tight to those rock formations, because they do look stunning. They are being lit from this side, but rather bizarrely, the light that's being cast on the side of the rocks at the moment seems to be coming from light reflected from clouds up in the distance, which looks a bit weird, but enough to capture detail. So, okay, let me very quickly talk you through it then. Tripod, nice and level. Portrait orientation. I've got my composition right, my camera's level. I've pre-focused pretty much on those rock formations, which is to infinity anyway. And I've set my camera up with a 6-stop filter on and a 0.9 soft grad, which enables me to shoot this at 30-second exposures. So basically pop, 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 pop. 7, 8 or 9 images. Ooh, tell you what. Ooh, that looks nice. That looks nice. That looks nice. F13 ISO 100. Like I say, the light that's being reflected from the sides of those rock formations look really, really nice. A nice pano, black and white. But I can guarantee you the same shot from here when the tide is in will be a much nicer picture. I probably won't go down there tonight. I fear it's a pointless exercise, because the light's dropping so quickly, obviously, because it's sunset. I know it looks really bright on here, but it's 9:15 now. Sunset's at 9:25, so 10 minutes to go from now. There must be cloud, surprisingly, on the horizon in the background, because the light has dropped down. There's no line of light shining through, hitting the sides of the rocks or anything here, which is a bit bizarre. And when I shoot out to sea and I highlight rocks in the foreground, I do like it when the light hits the one side of the rock, because it makes the rock formations feel really three-dimensional, and I like that. I am kind of getting that here, but it's the reverse effect. I should be getting light from the right-hand side, but I'm getting more light lighting up the stacks from the left-hand side. Like I say, I think that's just light bouncing off these clouds in the sky. I have mentioned this quite a few times on the channel in the past. I like to lengthen the shutter speed while shooting panos out to sea. It just makes stitching so much easier. On a longer exposure, when the water's flat, Photoshop has no problems at all stitching images together. If this was all chippy choppy and I was shooting this at a really fast shutter speed, then Photoshop would really struggle to stitch the images together. But I tell you what, that is looking really nice. There's a little bit of colour in there, but because of the contrasting light on those rock formations, this is going to be a fantastic black and white. Oh, this has saved me. This has saved the night. But it just goes to show, you know, you've got to work with what you're faced with. We all know that. But don't give up. I've got to walk back up this flaming mountain thing again now, and it's a bit of a hike. I'm still sweating from earlier, but it doesn't really matter. You can't be a lazy photographer, and you can't use silly excuses. You've just got to go for it. When I turned up earlier on tonight, the tide was so far out. Like I say, I've only been here for a couple hours this afternoon when the tide was in. I had no idea how far out the tide went, and I was decimated. I thought, oh no, the shot and compositions that I'd worked for this afternoon has all paled into insignificance. Out the window, gone, finished. And honestly, I could have just packed up and went home. But you must never do that. You must never do that, because this might be one of those accidental, brilliant shots. It might just be, you know, it might just be. You know, I have never, ever created a video with just one picture. And I thought to myself, this could be a first. this could be a first. Instead of stressing, I could just include one picture. Never done it before. Lots of photographers do that. I've never done it before. But I haven't got it in my makeup. I haven't. I have this rule, never be a lazy photographer. Because of the light down there on those rocks, I'm just gonna walk down, walk onto the beach and keep taking pictures into the blue hour. There's gotta be compositions down there I can grab as well. There's no way I can walk away. I'm coming back tomorrow, I know that, but there's no way I can walk away from here with just one picture. It's not happening. I'm rushing. What's the chances? Oh. The clouds up there are so rare to see them like this. They're so nice. They are so, so nice. Right, let's see how this looks on here. I certainly think the romance is gone from this shot from down here. The lighting is not as good. Not sure about. It's weird because the foreground interest is on the right hand side and so is the background interest, and I don't like that. Now this leading line comes across the frame but it finishes on the bottom third, so background top third, top right, and the foreground, I'm not sure if it works. I'm not sure. I think if I lower it down, it looks too messy. If I raise it, I'll lose it a bit. So typically me, I'm not sure if this works, but I'd rather make that decision tomorrow. Technically, it'll be fine, but I'm not sure if I like the picture. So there's only one thing to do, and that is actually take the picture. Definitely not a fan of this one, not from down here. Not in these conditions, with the footprints and everything looking messy and the sea as far out as it is. So what I'll do is I'll grab this shot and I'll move forward, go right onto the edge of the sea and see if I can miss out the sand altogether and just isolate one or two rocks. But it might not seem like it in that camera, but it is getting pretty dark. But I've got to tell you, this is a real rare phenomenon. I go on about this all the time. Skies like this never happen at sunset. They never happen at sunset. Normally you just get a thick bank of cloud on the horizon that ruins your sunset or your sunrise. But certainly at sunset times, you never ever get clouds like this. What a treat. Can you see these sandflies? Hang on, look. Oh. Can you pick them up on there? I'm not sure, but oh, it's a nightmare. Oh, and they're biting me like mad. So if you're struggling for leading lines when you're at the beach, just use the natural waves. If you've got nice waves like we have now, then just use them. They're perfectly fine.